Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge, 5:59 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Still raining. We've got a lot of rain coming through. The heavy stuff already came through. It's a storm, a storm stretching from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up to New York. I noticed that. So looking at the radar, so a big rain storm front. This morning we have Jack Daniel's Old Number 7. This company was started in 1866 by Jack Daniel. The current version is 80 proof, aged at least 4 years, probably no more than that. It's distilled, charcoal, mellowed, or filtered, we would call it, then aged. All right, Stedman Select, introduced in Stedman Select, introduced in 2018, aged 3 years, by IWA, bottled in Louisville. IWA, a Sazerac alias. From this is, from what I can tell, contract produced for Walmart, private label. Okay, so I guess you can only find this at Walmart. Assuming you live, I gotta watch this pour because it pours really quick out of this with this special pouring device that doesn't allow a chug-a-lug. Assuming you get a Walmart in your area that sells liquor, our Walmart sell beer, wine, and liquor right off the shelf. You don't have to go. You don't have to go to a counter and ask somebody to pull it for you. It's all there for the taking. Okay. And then here's the Jack Daniel's. So the Stedman's was $19.99, or I think it was $19.95 actually, for the 1,750 milliliters. The Jack Daniel's was about $22 for the 1,750 milliliters. Okay. We'll try to answer comments in a little while. I haven't been able to do that. Didn't get much sleep last night with somebody calling me. I've tried to communicate this to people, but some people are not, you don't want to say not smart, but I said, don't call me at night. I wake up early, so therefore I go to sleep early, but yet still call. Hey, Lou, I tried this drink. It's like, wow, I could hear about this tomorrow. It's not, if somebody's dying and I have to run to the hospital, that's an appropriate call at night, waking me up. I don't mind that. Don't care for it, but but to call me and tell me about some drink you're trying and I'm fast asleep, we got a problem, because then I can't get back to sleep. All right. So I can just turn the phone off, but then you don't get the emergency calls. I can block the number. So we hate to be extremists, but sometimes extreme situations call for extreme action sometimes. All right, so, but I'm using I have a tendency to be very courteous, so a lot of other people don't grasp those concepts. Supper time, I don't call people because I figure their family's eating, but from what I heard, families don't eat together anymore, which is bad. We got a lot of problems in the United States. We'll talk about that later. All right. Well, they're both amber. Huh? All right. I better mix them up. I think I already don't remember which is which, but will I be able to tell them apart? I was able to tell the Jack Daniel's green label from the Stedman Select, but actually it wasn't as easy as I had believed. It was, I would have been woken up last night with this ferocious storm. I mean, the wind was just, the rain was coming down like crazy, and they had a tornado out in St. Tammany Parish, but I would have slept the 5 hours straight previous to that. I wouldn't have been up and down, trying to get back to sleep. All right, anyway, enough ranting and raving about that. I'll probably keep ranting and raving about it all day because it just irks me to no end. I was able to tell the green label from the Stedman's, which is a black label. Wasn't as easy as I did believe it would be, though. The Jack Daniel's was not as distinctive as I thought. And I thought they were both equal quality. So that's a lesson that the Stedmans would obviously be the winner. Why wouldn't it be the winner? You're getting 1,000 extra milliliters, 1,000 extra milliliters for less price. Now, you would assume there would be a cheaper, less enjoyable product. It is cheaper, but less enjoyable. I'm not seeing that. I think Sazerac does a great job with low-end items. Do they sell high-end items? Well, yeah. Get on the Great Bourbon's website, or you can get on Buffalo Trace Distillery website. There's two different websites, but they've got things like Weller 12-year, which I see people are going around looking for. The store manager told me they keep asking for it. It's not out. Nobody can get it. No, not the store manager. Somebody working behind the customer service said, yeah, they keep asking for it. We don't have it. So, you know, that's very expensive. So Sazerac will put out this $19.99 for $1,750, and then they'll turn around and sell 750s for $90, $110, $130, $155. You know, so it's all what you want to do. Now, are the real expensive ones better? You would hope. A blind taste test would solve that problem more than likely. If you did it, you want to do repetition, which in this case with the round robin tournament is not so easy to pull off, but that would be the best way. Like William Kepley bought a 30-pack of Red Dog. In his mind, and in my mind too as well, he was saying that he thinks it's superior to most of the other macro beers. I said, but don't you think a taste challenge would be in order? He said yes. He intended to do that, a tournament. So, but he doesn't have a channel, so he's going to do it in the privacy of his own home and just enjoy the results himself. And then some people tell me, why do you do all these challenges? People don't want to watch that. Why are you making me watch it? Well, who said I was making anybody watch it? That's what I don't grasp, that kind of thinking, as though you're being made to watch it. Why would you? I'm subscribed to probably hundreds and hundreds of beer review channels, many of which are no longer, which are defunct, like Keith's beer reviews. Well, Keith died. He was very sick with a bad heart. But anyway, when they make videos I'm not interested in, I don't get on there and complain. I don't say, why are you doing all this flavored sparkling water? I don't even like flavored sparkling water. It's very simple. I just don't watch them. I skip over them. Okay. You know, these are not difficult concepts to grasp. I don't think they should be. If I've never had the beer, I don't watch the video. If I've never had the whiskey, I don't watch the video. And then I've had people thinking, you don't watch my videos. They've told me, how come you don't watch my videos anymore? I said, I'll watch them, but you're doing a whole array of beers or whiskey or wine that I've never had. I cannot watch a review for something I've not had. I can't relate to it. Okay, I just don't want to hear. Now, after I've drunk the beer or the whiskey or the rum, that's another story coming up. But I'll watch the review to see what they are saying, to see if what they say matches up with what I said. And many, many times it is the case. They'll say similar things that, wow, the body is kind of thin with this, like with the dragon's milk. So that's interesting. Okay, so now let's get into this one. They've had time to breathe and aerate. I'm getting wood, corn, the aroma generally associated with bourbon whiskey, and I think people that have drunk enough whiskey know what that is. You know, I don't have to. They don't even need to be told what whiskey smells like. Like beer, if I say it smells like beer, people, intelligent people, that's a qualification. They know what I'm speaking of what I'm speaking. Okay, they know we're talking about the common American beer aroma, Schlitz, Budweiser, Coors, Miller High Life, that, okay? So there's a little sourness, sourdough type thing. And these are both sour mash whiskeys, okay? They use that process. So, or as if we were in Canada, we would say they use that process. This one is a little more flat in the aroma, a paper note, oxidized. No, I don't know. It's let's try to pin this down. It's not as rich. Okay, so let's go back to this. This is a fuller nose here, and this one is not as full of a nose. So that would make one think, right? You know what I'm about to say. But this is not a bad aroma. It's just light char, wood. They're both using oak. That would make a person think that more than likely this is the Stedman's and that's the Jack Daniels. But we have to taste. We can't, I don't think, be too hasty. Some of these you can pick them off right off the bat. You know, you can just, on aroma, you got it. But it isn't always so easy. So here we go with taste. I'm not going to look at that. Sometimes I can see through the glass and see the tag in reverse, you know, and then I don't want to do that. I'm not here to cheat. Yeah, cornbread. My nose all of a sudden. Cornbread. Some wood and char, but really just, no, not candy corn like with these blended American whiskeys and that weird melon thing. Just cornbread, but there's a charred underneath, an undertaste. Yes, but you'll even get that with some American blended whiskey, that charred wood. But on quality ones, you know, like Seagram's 7 Crown, you'll get that. With a lot of the really cheapos, I only have 2 bottles of American blended whiskey left, unopened. I don't think I'm going to be buying a whole lot more of that stuff. I mean, I might buy 1 a year just to kind of drink down the current stash. Taste challenge them down. It won't prove much. I don't think there's much to say about those. But it's kind of like I'm doing with bourbon. I'm just kind of drinking down the, I'm more interested in the Scotch, the Canadian whiskey. I had somebody tell me, Canadian whiskey is bad. I said, oh, okay. That's a pretty definitive statement. Canadian whiskey is bad. There's some cornbread here, some more sugary sweetness, and the wood. So it's not as roasty or heavily charred though over here. Okay. And I like the when it's, I find it comical when people make those definitive statements. Not saying stuff like, well, to me, like this would be the proper way to say, well, to me, Canadian whiskey has these deficits. I don't really like aspects of it, and that's why I'm not a fan of it. Reasonable. But the definitive, Canadian whiskey is bad. The implication being anybody who drinks it is stupid, and why are you wasting time with it? Like you have, almost like you don't have the right to drink it. Who are you to drink it? And I always laugh at that. Like somebody telling me, I did a Sam 76, and I said, it was just so incredibly dull. I thought that beer, Sam 76, I just couldn't get over how dull it was. And I was talking about Schlitz, Coors. To me, they had more flavor, just as a comparison. And then somebody gets on there and makes a comment. All metrics will show, listen to this, all important metrics will show that Schlitz and Coors, et cetera, whatever he was saying, are inferior in every way to Sam 76. He's schooling me, you see. So my response was, but the only metric that matters to me is taste. You know, I don't care that you said, well, I did a statistical analysis of Untapped, Rate Beer, and Beer Advocate, and then I did a statistical analysis of beer reviews, and they quite clearly favored Sam 76 over the ones you mentioned. So you obviously are wrong, or you're lying, or you have no credibility. You can statistically analyze every beer I do, or whiskey. Don't make these definitive statements. Like, I don't like butter beans. So I would say to someone, I don't really like butter beans, but I appreciate you offering me some. But the wackos, you know, that you get on the internet or in real life, they'll say something like, butter beans are bad. There's no room for negotiation. They've made a deck. They are stating an objective reality. Butter beans are bad. Craft Beer-tastic. The stream seemed to cut out here. Okay, it's back. Yeah, I don't know It might have cut out on your end. It's seized up here, but that's on the playback, and it often does that with Google Chrome. But it's playing, you know. I don't know. It could be the weather. I noticed that this huge weather event, I noticed that the NBA highlights were not posted. Only one. Usually you wake up, and I woke up later this morning due to the interruption. Constant interruption. Usually by this time at 3:30 in the morning, all the NBA games will be highlighted. You can get on Google, type in NBA scores. Each game, they got the summary, the recap. Be about a minute or two long. This morning, one. I said, oh, that's not right. Something's wrong. So it could have been internet problems. Could have been internet problems across the board. When you start seeing things like that, that go against the normal presentation. Yeah, there's wood. I mean, these are just like corn, bread, and wood and char. What is bourbon? Mostly corn with some rye, wheat, of course, barley. But it's mostly corn, so it should taste like corn because it is corn, you know. I know people geek out over bourbon, and almost one of the worst things you could ever do on the internet is to say anything negative about bourbon. And then here they'll come. I'm coming after you. You will not criticize bourbon. I mean, it's 30 years ago, bourbon was looked down upon generally as inferior, not cool. The sales were poor. In 1988, cool people drank vodka, gin, you know, like bourbon. And then Canadian whiskey was at one time more popular. So, well, anyway, enough rant and raving. You know, it's like the pouring beer. Those are the most interesting comments. You get the people, they're experts. I'm 22 years old. I've been drinking beer for 3 years. And I only drink the best craft beer that, you know, okay, all right, good. I'm very proud of you. Usually, you know, there's going to be a problem when their comment starts off with the word you, Y-O-U. You don't know how to. Would you say the typical aroma of American beer differs from the aroma of European beer? Sorry, this does not pertain to the topic at hand. Arch Stanton, hello, thanks for watching. Yes, I think they are different. Craft beer-tastic. I've never had a bad bourbon. No, I haven't had one either. I've had some that were not as good, like 10 High blended bourbon. It's not bad. It doesn't taste bad. Like when you taste it, you don't say, oh, this is bad. It's just kind of vacant of flavor. But it's 49% grain spirits, you know, corn, unaged corn liquor. It's only 51% straight bourbon. You say, what? That's allowed? Yeah, it's allowed, and it's a style, a legal style of whiskey called blended bourbon. And actually, some of them are quite expensive. I was at the liquor store, one of these liquor departments. Really, we have liquor departments here in that store. And I said, $30-something for blended bourbon. I said, gee willikers. That makes, you know, I really want to run out and spend $35 for something that's 49% straight corn liquor. But then people do it. They say, I bought moonshine. Wow, you bought moonshine. Okay, well, so what you're buying is unaged corn whiskey, grain neutral spirits. Which is fine. If you like it, buy it. This has got to be Jack Daniels because it's got more of a char. But really, you know, when you look at these, I don't know. I just think the green label's better. I know I shouldn't be saying that live on air and people hear me say it. It's kind of a no-no. But I don't think the black label Jack Daniels Old No. 7 is that great. I know it's the iconic thing and all the cool, well, all the people who think they're cool drink it because the real bourbon snobs say, Jack Daniels, are you stupid? I'm not into the social struggle, so I can kind of look at those things in a detached way. Just watch the people kind of position themselves, you know, take the position and attack the the opposing position, or it's like watching a little war. They're attacking each other's fort. But it's just kind of standard, you know. I mean, it's iconic. It's famous around the world. The quality control is outstanding. I mean, every Jack Daniels you get is going to taste the same as any other anywhere in the world. So there's that. You know, you're not like, I got a bad batch. No, that ain't going to happen. It's like Budweiser. You're not going to get a bad batch. And some people are really dedicated and are appreciative of quality control, and I am too. Contra-wise, you're not going to drink Budweiser and just go on for an hour. Well, I might, huh? But go on for an hour about how fabulous it is with all its complex flavors. But on the other hand, it does have more to it than some people give it credit for. But this Jack Daniels is just a little kind of bland. But not bad. You have never once, ever, I will pay you money if you can find any comment I've ever made on the internet where I said Jack Daniels was bad. I just said it wasn't that great. All right, so what's the better value here? Obviously, quite obviously, Stedman Select. And I'm sorry, okay? I mean, I got some JD devotees that would just be furious about that. And they would never go along with it. They would say, no, 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 that's cheap stuff from Walmart, Stedman Select, go to hell, you know. I mean, I'm sorry if you're angry, but why don't you do the blind taste test? You do it. No, they're busy. I'm busy. I can't get around. I can't get to that. I don't have time to entertain your fantasies. But I see this all the time on the internet, you know, talking about beer. That's their religion, you know. If beer is your religion, then it's hard to talk to people in a kind of an even-handed way. You know what I mean? It's not my religion. It's a hobby. I like to talk about beer and drink it and try it and say, oh, this tastes like that. But it's not a religion, so people get so enraged, you know, they get so enraged and out of control. But then they won't do the blind taste test. It's like, well, you have a channel. I'm busy. You're not that busy because you did a 5-hour hangout talking about pantyhose or whatever, you know. So don't tell me you were busy. Like one guy was telling me, I couldn't respond to you because I was busy. And I have all these personal problems. He goes and gives me this list. I said, okay. I said, there's one problem with what you're saying, though. You couldn't give a response that would literally take 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Too busy to say yay or nay something. But yet, 2 days later, you could do, or the same day, actually, it was the same day. The same day, you could do a 5-hour hangout with the English Knitting Circle and talk about, I just scanned through that. They were talking about everything under the sun that had no purpose. Postage stamps. So I said, that doesn't fly. Don't lie to me. I hate lying. Bucky Denso, what's up? Chilling, drinking a bud. Arch Stan says, I have a friend who swears by the combination of basic Jack Daniels and Coke. Oh, I can't even stand Coca-Cola. Anything with high fructose corn syrup gives me the creeps. I haven't had it myself, but I figure it must be an okay combo. I guess, to me, anything with Coca-Cola is ruined. I mean, unless you use the pure cane sugar one from Mexico or the ones they have occasionally during the year. But me and soft drinks, we've had a divorce. Oh, man, I used to drink soft drinks all the time. Now I see why I felt, and I've said this many times, now I see why I felt bad for 30 years. Now that I started drinking beer, wine, and liquor, I feel good. I mean, I feel way better now than I used to feel. Because they're not full of chemicals. I don't care. And people will tell me, Budweiser is full of all these chemicals. They'll make a long list. I said, where did you come about that information? It's common knowledge. I read it on the Socialist Workers' Party website. Okay. Can you give me some definitive sources, some primary source material that Budweiser is full of all these materials? Their response might be, you know, F something, you Nazis. You know, it's like, that's really not really a strong argument. Cursing people is not an argument to prove a point, okay? Proving a point is to, you know, have evidence. That's kind of a good way to do it. Craft Beer Tastic said, I used to think I was a beer snob. Then the novelty wore off over the years. Right. Also, a bunch of the original breweries became too big and seemed like they stopped caring about the craft. Right. Because they wore flannel and they had one of those round earring hole things, and they had a big beard and glasses, and they were like, power to the people. And it was like a big socialist experiment. Hey, man, we're making beer for the people, man. We're fighting against the big guys, man. And you bought into that and you believed it. But really, they were about capitalism and making money is what they really were about. They weren't going to really hang out with you and groove with you. And their kids really did go to a private school once they got money. And they really did sell out to AB InBev or Miller Coors. Yeah, it's kind of like, that's an angle that was, at least, used to be very successful in the 90s and 2000s. That whole power to the people right on craft beer movement. And I never got over that guy making that statement. We're winning. We're winning. He's talking about the craft beer movement. I said, what are you winning? That's when I decided I'm out. Ain't no way I'm going to drink consumer products and talk about I'm winning. I'm not winning. I'm buying products and I'm tasting them. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I am not on a quest. This is not a quest. We are not. People have asked me before, but what's the goal? What's the goal of all this? The goal? How can tasting whiskey at 5:59 a.m. be a goal? Or doing beer reviews? You see me say, do you see me selling t-shirts, guys? Do you see me selling BB Barfly? Do you see me having 2,000 links to all my social media down below? Do you see me asking people like, comment, subscribe? No, you don't see that. You will not ever see that. That's why I run into trouble with some other people, because it is not a quest here. It's fun. It's not important. This has got to be Jack Dan. Well, okay. I got to stop this. Stedman Select clearly wins because I can't tell them apart except maybe on a good guess. And it's way, 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 cheaper. No. Jack Dan. Okay, I got it. I had it on the aroma. So, wow, look what I proved. You see, it's all about that, man. It's all about the people, man. We're the vanguard of the revolution, man. We're fighting against the capitalists, man. Yeah, okay, good. I just tasted some whiskey and I got it on the aroma only. So it's Jack Daniel's better. Yeah, but just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not paying a lot for a little bit. You know what I mean? Would you pay $10 for a mint? I wouldn't. It might be a good mint. You might enjoy sucking on it. You might enjoy chewing on it after it gets soft. It ain't worth $10. And I'm not going to pay way more extra for just a tad bit more quality. So, hey, sorry, Jack Daniels. Sorry, Brown-Forman. Didn't work out. Stedman's got y'all beat. Woo-ha, I got you all in check, as they said back in 97. So there we go. Hey. Does value price always win? No, it does not. But sometimes it does. All right, so enough rant and raving, and it's kind of fun to rant and rave because you can blow off steam, and then you think about all the things you ran across that were so mad, you know, like crazy, thinking that you're on a quest. I'm never going to be on a quest. Not an alcohol quest, that's for sure. All right. That was fun. Okay. I've done the taste challenges for years now. Fun. Let's put it in perspective. Fun. Not important. Let's practice. They're fun. Reviewing beer is fun. Not important. I know some people are going to say it's important to me. I'm trying to build my channel. We got different goals. Different goals. Thanks for watching this video production.